all been waiting for. Please give a big round of applause to Tamara Gonda, the CEO of Liberty Society. So nice. Before I give her the mic, I just want to mention the QR code, the Q&A session QR code. So we all have questions, and I saw several questions that you guys wanted to ask before even this program started. So uh, I kindly ask you guys to go into this QR board and ask any questions that you have in mind or any question that you would love to ask her. Just leave it on the screen and we will go through it after she explains the topic that we are covering today. So, Tamara Gonda, the mic is yours. Please take the stage. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jethro. It's so nice to be here. I would like to present about myself in the form of a video, and I would love to utilize 30 minutes of our time together with a Q&A. So we have an exciting topic, but before we get to our topic where we can learn together, let's watch this video regarding Liberty Society and what I do.
Hi, my name is Tamar Gondo, CEO of Liberty Society Indonesia. Can you imagine if your goods can lift up a community out of poverty, especially women refugees, and help change the environment? Liberty Society is a social enterprise where we turn your fabric, textile, plastic, and cardboard into new ways to engage your stakeholders. We're able to help brands and companies to shop more meaningfully, give more responsibly, and do CSR sustainably. We partner with you to turn your corporate waste into corporate merchandise and slam your laptop sleeve, hard wallet for you to give to your employees to make them feel proud and give to your customers to increase your brand equity to become able to meet the sustainable development goal. We're creating impact reports, workshops, and also press releases because not only that we want companies to be able to do greener procurement, we're seeing how can they communicate their impact to the bigger public. Behind every merchandise and hamper, there is a story. 10% of our proceeds are given back to our training development program, where we partner with nonprofits to train more women.
جب ایتان می‌بالند تکلیفی می‌پذیره و نه کشور سبو برای زندگی به شما بالا تکلیف ما درس بخونم دینا میشه بد نیست هم یک اوقات فراغت میشه هم کمک میشه هم برخورد اینو واقعا آدم احساس یکی بودن
That's a little bit about us and what I wanted to present for our learning together today is about how we grew as a company. Now it's been 5 years, and for us to now be a B Corp certified company that have sold our products globally. So here goes. Here's how we start from zero to where we are, and I hope you can do the same too. The topic is listen and the pivot. Listening sounds simple, but we'll understand how that listening creates a value creation framework for you to be able to build sustainable partnerships. Because a lot of company now, I'll start with this thesis, if you're continuously focusing on getting new logos or client or company logos, but you forget to retain your old clients, I think your business will not just grow. So for myself and my story, I started in 2021 after I graduated from college. I started volunteering in a nonprofit. I saw a couple of refugees whose story touched my lives. And for me, I realized that what role can I play? So then I started my business vehicle, Liberty Society, to be able to use their crafts and sell their craft on a global scale. Now, the journey really starts with listening. As I embark on this journey and I saw this woman on the streets of central Jakarta with her 2 kids as a refugee fleeing from the Taliban war, and she was a doctor before, but because she had to be a refugee, she had nothing. And then I started asking a few more questions, There's a couple of problems that probably you and I see when we start our change-making journey. And for me, it's like the earth keeps on piling up waste, women stuck in the cycle of poverty, and consumers demanding change. As you know, I think in Indonesia, there's 11% recycling rate, and those that are thrown away could actually become money. So I'm like, what can we do with the things that are thrown away, but then they can become money? And secondly, is the people that we see that are the women's that are just like Rehan, the one that I saw you the photo of. How can we empower them through product creation? And for me, it's utilizing access to market to be able to give them purpose and dignity back. Those are two touching stories, but here's really where the market comes into play. The younger generation in Indonesia by 2040, the average age for people would be 30 years old. We're seeing that the top 5 purchase decision-making trend by Deloitte would be value-driven purchases. So it makes sense for us. There's a business case, not just an impact case, to provide goods that are upcycled, it's high quality, it's sustainable, so that companies are being able to become more sustainable. Here's my first topic to you, a first point. What are the strengths that are uniquely you to be able to make the most difference? I think as Jetro was mentioning, I started my background as a pageant girl, and I utilized the platform, the storytelling, the branding, right away to leverage it for my social enterprise. For you, it might be different. Your strengths might be in media, it can be in storytelling, it probably is in business partnership, it might be in taking contents, it might be something else. But that's for you to also utilize in this journey in your change-making toolkit for you to be able to grow your business even further. So with myself, my journey, I'll breeze through this a little bit more. I utilize my strength, which is storytelling, the impact of the refugees and the women that I work with, to leverage it to win a couple of awards. These awards are then my first door opening for me to be able to talk to more clients. One of those clients happened to be the VP of Samsung Electronics in Korea. I asked her, you're a top 10 company in the world. I'm a small social enterprise based in Indonesia. Why should I make my social enterprise big? Because if you can do it, you don't need me to solve this waste issue. She told me, Tamara, you grow your social enterprise to the level of the problem and you grow to the level of the questions that you ask. So my question is about, I think that really generated for me, for your own social enterprises, to what level of impact do you want to achieve to be able to solve the problem that you're after? These are some of the questions that I began asking. How can we lift up women out of the cycle of poverty while educating stakeholders and corporations making a difference? You saw the video, I'm not going to go in depth into it. But this slide, I just want to tell a story that in the 5 years that we started, we developed different offerings through the year. 2 years ago, we developed our upcycling campaign. Last year, we developed our foundation. Next year, we're developing our B2C brand. So we're evolving through the years. And that's what it should look like when we're pivoting, right? This is our current supply chain process. And for some of you, it might look similar. But each of these phases have to be developed with different teams, different seasons, and different expertise. That happened because we listened to our client well. We truly innovated out of the client's need from plastic, mushroom, banner, textile, to create the variety of products that we do. And then I'll tell you another story, and this is how I believe to be the benefit of listening well, the process of listening well. I was in a lift at a conference. I met the COO of one of our e-commerce giant here in Indonesia, and she asked me what I do, and I gave a 30 seconds elevator pitch because I was in the elevator. She gave me her name card, and then I asked her and followed up, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. I thank you for meeting me. I do women empowerment. The next year, before her company chose to IPO, she contacted me saying, can you help us make a green e-commerce campaign before we IPO? Then this was the result. It won Best PR Campaign of the Year. I started with zero idea. I didn't even approach her with an idea, but I listened to her company needs to IPO, what they need, and I truly create a campaign from scratch that won them this campaign that's worth $1 billion, $1 billion rupiah in PR value. Then we continue to grow, and what we really love and how we add value to our clients really is the impact reporting, how we report the ESG metrics for their IPO, for their fundraising, for their reporting back. And I hope that the impact measurement part is very important for us as a social enterprise. So this is just before I go into the detail of what we're going to talk about how how you can apply the same thing as a storytell. When we help Bleeply IPO'd, and we kind of we set our branding there as a thought leader. Thought leader was more so than a one-time off project. So we continue to build on sustainability leadership through webinars, seminars, offline panel talks, white paper, guidebooks, speaking engagement, globally and locally in Geneva, in Singapore, and such. And I do think that there's a lot, and UD Impact does this, where you're able to do multilateral partnerships that really grows when you're able to partner with an external company, bring it back to Indonesia, and then they would listen to you differently. I'll pause here because that was quick. I'll move on from my own personal story, and we'll go into how you can apply these skills. Number one, I mentioned to you that the best partnership aren't built on what you want to sell. They're built on what you listen to learn. 70% of partnership fail because people don't listen well. Listening is different from hearing, right? We're going to go back to the basics here a bit. When you're building trust and credibility by listening, by being a friend, you can close faster than a pitch. I can't tell you how many partnerships I close, not in meetings, but in cafes and restaurants outside of the board meetings. When you truly listen, you reveal the hidden pain points that your competitor often miss. When your competitor, the first 30 seconds that they open up a call with, and then they're saying, hey, here's my product. You do it differently. You're like, what do you need and what can I help you with? That really creates you not to be a vendor, but to be a partner. So then how do you listen for a product market fit if you're in this process of whether people like your product or not? You know this, and this is some of the things that you can take notes of when you ask your potential prospect. What keeps you up at night in this business? How do you currently solve this? What is broken about your current vendor and solutions? And this is, I call it a very important sales pitch skills that not a lot of founders have, for you to be able to soft close things. Okay, tell me more about the existing solution that's not working. What do you think you're looking for? And then you're selling your pen or your whatever, right? The rule really is the 70% where you let them talk and 30% you're asking questions. And then you're saying at the end of that meeting, it's, okay, I got what you're saying. Give me 20 minutes of your time next week for me to present a solutions. If you're feeling like, I don't really know whether my product actually fits the market or not, then you can look into these 4 issues and think whether one of these flags are yours. If you're asking back your customers and they don't even know and they can articulate the value of your company, then there's something wrong. If your solution feels like it's a workaround, it's not a fix, it's not reducing their cost, it's not adding revenue, then it's not effective enough. If your customers are referring you to others, if you're having a very hard time, not just to retain, but to get referral, then you know there's a problem. And you have low engagement or adoption rates, for example, people buy your product once and not again, your lifetime value is very low. That's when you also know that something can be improved. Now that you know that, okay, I think I see myself there, here's what I want you to screenshot. A value creation framework stands for how do you identify, create, and deliver value that customers actually want. By the way, let me know if I speak too fast in the comment box. It matters to create this framework because you really remove guessing game. You align your team as well. For example, you have a sales team aside from you as a solo founder or as 2 founders. When you're trying to scale up your partnerships, you're trying to scale up growth and marketing, you're able to use this framework that I'm going to teach you. There's 3 things really in all of this. It's understanding, it's designing, it's delivering. So these are the 5 steps that you start with. Number 1, you diagnose what's the real problem. Even for us as a 5-year-old company, we do this regularly. We're asking ourselves, why is a client spending 10,000 and not 20,000? We're asking questions, why is a client ordering only 2 times, not 4 times? And then we design the solution. We're doing like coffee chats call, we're calling all of our clients, we're asking them. And then we deliver the things that we found out from those pain points. A customer might say, we don't order more because your products are too expensive. So for us to do cost-cutting initiative, giving them further discount by giving them a contract basis to reduce the amount of products that they are able to purchase us with. 4 is measure, did you create value? And then after you deliver that contract-based partnerships and sales, did a client are more likely to adopt that? And 5th is iterate. If you feel like they're not actually buying to it, then maybe contract-based partnership and sales is not what they're looking for. Maybe you can do it in another thing. I'd like to take a pause here because we have a lot of time. Take 15 minutes to do your ideal customer profile. Now that you know that if there's a product market mismatch, let's go back to your ICP, your ideal profile where you can create the most value, and for you to create what are the exact values that you want to give to them. This benefits you because you can do higher close rates. In our company as a B2B, we measure conversion rates from the inbound dari yang 100 orang kita outreach. How many of them respond, how many of them get to meetings, how many of them that we can close as a client on a weekly basis. For example, your conversion rate from you doing a call to them closing a deal with you is 5%. If you identify your ideal customer profile, it can increase to 7%. So that's something that will benefit you. But the thing is, different companies definitely have different profiles, even if us with Recycling Village or with Duanyam or with Parongpong, we have different customer profile. And these names that I mentioned are also social enterprises that sell goods. So when you prepare your Excel sheet right now, I want one column, a row, column, I think. Column, you make it company name, then you make it industry, you make company size or revenue, and then you make PIC, person in charge. And then there's different PIC that you have to figure out here. And usually in one line, one row, you have 2 different PIC that you need to talk with. Who are the gatekeepers and endorser? What's the difference? There are those who are the decision maker, the CFO of the company. There are those that are the gatekeepers or endorsers, which can be the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer. Then you need to understand also what the success looks like for both CFO and CMO, because your value proposition for them would be very different. Here's how you need to see it. When you've detailed one whole row, okay, say FMCG, LG Electronics, industry electronics, what is their need? For you to create the value proposition there, for LG Electronics versus Samsung would be very, very different for the type of product that you have. So your homework would be test this with 5 to 10. Why don't you list 5 to 10 target customers now? And then you create a pitch message differentiated LinkedIn versus email. This is very helpful for you to do an initial outreaches, and it might look like this. So here on my sheet, here you have demography, woman founder, executives, employee count 500 to 1,000, multinational Singapore or Indonesia, psychography-nya, strong sustainability values, CSR, behaviors, they join woman empowerment causes, they have a CSR in woman empowerment and so forth. Then you would list down, how do you get in touch with these clients, networkings and whatnot. What do you talk to them? Who do you talk with? Who do they follow? It's important to even note who they follow so that you have a common thread. This is a part of listening well and pivoting and understanding how to refine your business, okay? Or it can be the newsletter that they subscribe, or it's the conferences and event that they attend to. It even helps, right? Most of my clients, I meet them at conferences, and after they go down from their speaking engagement, I approach them and I say, would love to get to know you. Read about your business. Here's my name card. Let's partner. You have a higher likelihood of actually building sustainable partnership that way. And then the industry, here, fashion beauty versus professional services like Deloitte are very different. For fashion and beauty, here it's the topic for what products that we're selling to them. Then it's the KPI, how do we add value to them? What are the best practice or our own case studies that we have worked with that we want to offer to them? And then what else is here? What's the region? So then after you map this out, you build your template for outreaching or engaging with them. Even if it's just a coffee chat for you to say, can you help me validate my propositions? Is it true a fashion company, for example, like L'Oreal, would be willing to pay 30% more than a non-sustainable vendor because you value sustainability? So those are the questions that you ask when you're also trying to refine your business and find product market fit. All right, Jetro, can we take about 7 minutes for people to actually list down? And then probably we can
Yes.
hear a couple of people if you want to call out a few people, similarly to what I've done here. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we can definitely do that. So, I'll turn on the music for 7 minutes and uh, let's have everyone work on this and maybe Tamara Gonda can point some of the names. Right, I'll turn on the music. Give me 1 second.
Oh, Jetro, if you're on mute, we can't hear the music.
I don't think two people can share at
Oh,
once.
okay.
Okay. And she's going to randomly call you, so get ready. We got 5 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Yeah, thanks so much. I'm excited.
We got about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Tamara, Gunda, can you like screenshot your the chart and then share it to our webinar chat? In that case, they can also see uh what you wrote and learn from it.
You mean this one?
Yeah, yeah.
They can screenshot it themselves. I can't really do much because I'm screen sharing now.
Okay.
All right, so let's just get started because I do want to get into Q&A soon. I'll stop sharing, and if you want to, oh, there's so many people. I did not realize that when we first started, Jetro. All right, Jetro, let's start calling in people. Who do you think we should call for the first brave volunteer?
Um, hmm. Uh, I have, sorry, but we can't rename. I have Owen
Owen.
Vijaya.
Okay.
Owen Vijaya. Yes. Uh, can you unmute yourself, Owen?
Okay, whoever is ready, feel free to just put your hand up and then it will choose you.
Yeah, that
If you
sounds fantastic. Please react with your hands up sign. Bonnie, would you like to share? No. I think everyone's shy today.
yeah, seems like it. Oh, there you go. We have one brave
Oh, I
person.
have one person. It is, who was it? Oh,
Yes, please. Go.
Alaska. Yes. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Rafif, and I want to ask to you, ma'am, about the. I am interested with the electronic that you say before, and actually, I built some electronics. It's simple as like lawnmower, and yeah, in the first beginning of our products, it's still a prototype, and I want to ask how we can convince the customer if we are still in the beginning and a new producing, and yeah, how they can want to buy our product in the first stage like that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we can do a couple of Q&A. Um, if you still have a prototype, yesterday I was at an event, and at the event, there's this university student that brings a whole mock-up for a company that just does a whole rebranding. Huge event. They presented their university students, and I just came up to them directly because I saw that they have a mock-up of it. And then the idea makes sense. They were trying to convert waste to energy, and I just love the innovations. Like, even if for me, right, on the other side, if you're asking me as a customer, I would be so willing to give them a trial if they're coming back to me and they're saying, hey, can you just mentor me and utilize the solutions that I'll give it to you for free, just in 10 kilometers, about 10 square meter of my plot of land. I would be so willing to say yes. So for you to trial out pilot projects would be very recommended with your friends and family or early believers. And then you can scale that up to the people who you want to target as clients. Because they don't trust you, if you don't have trust, then you cannot get them as a pilot project. But if you already know them and you build connections and you build mentorship from now, you'll be able to reach out to them.
Okay, ma'am, thank you for the advice.
Welcome. Who else? Just one more, and then we'll continue.
Well, since we're doing about ICP, does anyone want to tell her your ICP and get like a opinion on it? Because your ICP needs to be really in depth. Uh, it needs to cover every single thing like she did. Does anyone have anything that they want to share? We can wait 10 more seconds and we can go on to the next. If I don't see any hands. Oh, I see one. Brilliant Cristalla. Yes. Please do share your mic.
Okay, good evening, Kak Tamara. So I would like to share our team ICP, but based on the firmographic data. So our product is styrofoam, ethylene packaging that substitutes styrofoam that used for fish sellers in transporting their fish. So our firmographic data, like from the industry itself, is like the ornamental fish sellers, especially right now in Yogyakarta, which our team residing. And then for the company size is small to medium enterprise. And also for the revenue range is around like 100 million rupiah, like annually. And for the location is on the coastal regions of Indonesia, like especially in Jogja. And then for the behavioral science, from our target is they have concern in the environment, because as they also into the fish community, they have like concern too to the environment, so they have open to testing alternative materials that is have related to the sustainability sides. And also for the psychographic insights, the what success looks like to them, that they can ship their fish safely with the material that is same like styrofoam, at the same time could also protect the fish nature, which is the sea, by using a sustainable package. Okay, so maybe that's all from me or from our team, or maybe we want to ask for your feedback, or maybe there is something that we need to be detailed. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Is it 100 million a month or a year? 100 million a month apa a year?
In a year, annually.
That's very small, by the way. You need to aim higher. That's the thing, right? Like 100 million a year, that's like about 8 million a month. Who like a company that only earns 8 million a month, would they buy your product that maybe costs 1 million? That's 1/8 of their revenue, right? Think about it that way. And then make your pitch. Gitu kayak pitch-nya apa gitu, oke? Mau untuk yang smallholder ini, medium size business gitu, they need your product, right? Make the pitch gitu. Tadi kan kalau misalnya tadi kamu sharing gitu, oh udah tahu value-nya nih, udah tahu nih customer-nya. Tapi dikontekstualisasi, mungkin ya pedagang gitu kan, traders, right? Oke Pak, Ibu, ini kira-kira mau beli nggak dengan harga segini gitu. Again, for me, it's something feels off. 8 juta per bulan, 8 million a month, and you're trying to sell to them. I don't know what you're trying to sell, but yeah. Gitu sih, jadi focus on what's the message and contextualize it to your audience.
Okay,
Is-
thank you, Kak.
Yeah, I hope that's helpful. Is that helpful?
Yes, it's helpful, but sorry, I have to correct that it's billion. Sorry.
Okay, 100. Ya udah, siap. Thank you so much. Okay, let me go on into my finishing thoughts, and then we'll go into Q&A, okay? The third and last part is exactly called relationship building for sustainable partnership. This is a photo of me with the Jarum Group ecosystem, which even though we met 3 years ago, I still keep in touch with most of them. And the center person here in the middle, the one that I met in the lift elevator, I just went to her event. I said, congratulations. When they first started Langkah Membumi, they did it with us. The third, second, and fourth, they didn't do it with us. And I'm like, oh no, we were replaced as a vendor. But then I still say congratulations. But that's exactly the type of partnerships and relationship that you have to build with people, that you truly rejoice in the moment that their business is doing well and you keep the connection. So number one is you as young people, you have to know that trust over transaction. When you pitch earlier, when you ask me questions, gimana ya, they want to prototype. How ya, they want to be your client. How ya, we can close our 100 million deal. It starts by building trust through consistency, transparency, and follow through. Follow through is the most understated skills that I've ever seen in young people nowadays. You either ask for mentorship, you ask for a call, after the meeting, you ghost. You don't only ghost your pacha, you actually ghost your client and prospect. I think that's very, very harmful for how you want to build your business. Here, what I'd like to encourage you to do is you say thank you, you're saying, how can I'd like to update you with the process of my business. Even if they say no to you, like most of my early day clients are my bosses, my board members are my bosses. My first clients are my friends because they know that I've done this for 10 years before. And they know that the person to go to for women empowerment is blah, blah, blah. That's the type of branding that you want to be very, very strongly correlated with. So when someone asks you, like, hey, who are you? Oh, I'm Michelle, the tuna girl. That is the first basis of how people trust you over than you first start selling. I'll start with another story gitu. Let's see. And here's the opportunity, right? We talk with one of the largest FMCG group in the world, based in Indonesia, and then we're saying, can we partner with you? How do we partner with you? They're saying, okay, Tamara, like if you've already transformed the life of 1,000 people, come back and talk to us. So I was like, yeah, we only empowered 100 people this year. So thank you so much for the feedback. I'll come back to you. The year after I came back to them, I say, hey, I've empowered 1,000 people. I have a program now. We can empower 10,000 people together. Can we partner now? Then they're okay, great. Like here's a 200,000 Singapore dollar that you can play with, blah, blah, blah. For us to apply a grant project together with them. So that's the type of value. It's not sometimes 6 months, it's not 3 months, it's a year type of long-term relationship that you build with. Enough with my stories, we'll go into the key tips. Tip number 1 is show up consistently. You be present even before you need help. You ask them about their business and all that. Tip number 2, you deliver more than expected. Under promise, over deliver. Don't oversell your benefits. You're more likely to say, oh yeah, you can save 10,000 from every fish food that I'm selling you, and your fish will be 10 times healthier. Do not do that, because the moment that you cannot keep your promise, you lose your client, you lose your credibility. Reputation is very important. Number 3 is make them look good. All of our clients, especially now in social media age, they would get an impact report, they get press releases, they get LinkedIn posts from me. So you have to have some sort of way to make their branding looks good as well. Tip number 4 is you need to be transparent about challenges. And here's the reality that not a lot of entrepreneurs dare to be vulnerable about. There was a time I was 24, I was handling my first big order, the biggest order for me back then, with a skincare company that probably you all know. And then I messed up in the order. It was 200 t-shirts that I'm selling to them. And then I cried. I didn't dare because I made a mistake. Called them up, the CMO. I cried when I called my board members saying, I don't want to take this call, I messed up. I took the call, I said sorry, I explained the whole thing, even though if I did not come clean about that mistake in t-shirts, it would have been fine. She wouldn't know about it. It was about basically whether we're using different fabrics, by the way. So when I called her and she was like pretty chill about it, I did lose the order. I did lose money on that order, but she trusted me and she ordered again the next time around. So that's how you really deal with customers and trust in the game. Here's some other tricks for you to deepen your partnership. People think about win-lose. You have to think about win-win. It saves you money, it does good for you. You build multi-thread relationships. You don't rely on one contact, because oftentimes, misal pedagang fish stall, you have to develop levels at the owner, then you develop with the program manager. You develop with the CEO, you also develop with the program manager, with the marketing director. Because if not, what ends up happening is you would lose the connections to that company when someone leaves. Number 3, and I'm almost done, you create accountability together. You set clear mutual goals. You do check-ins. You celebrate each other milestone. And last but not least, a with relationship. The best salesperson in the US and what they do, this car salesman, top of the top. You know what he does differently? He actually sends birthday messages on email every time the clients or the prospects have a birthday, year by year. That means people remember who they are, who he was, and then he became the top selling agent in all of the US. All right, last but not least, these are two of our past clients. When we talk about two deals, right? If you're talking about tadi ada contohnya, oke aku mau kerjasama nih sama Sassy punya founder. Sassy, I approached her 3 times and 3 times she rejected me to do business with us. The 4th time around, I asked her, what are you looking for your end of year CSR campaign? Then they're like, okay, like this was our campaign together with them, training refugee women, blah, blah, blah. But it was about not giving up because oftentimes it takes you 7 follow-ups to get a client. So if you haven't sold your product because nobody ever accept your products, follow up 7 times and tell me something different. Second, this is our other client, Pertamina, BUMN. This one is where we really co-create the whole program together from scratch. But it really started by me asking, what do you envision your goals to be? And how can we help you that other people are not doing for you yet? It's been a 2 years relationship with them, and we're very open when we mess up. But communications along the way is very important for you to be able to work with people. So I'll close with this. You listen first, you pivot second, you build partnership that lasts. Do not forget the third part. Build partnership that lasts. Transparency, accountability, trust, and adding value to people always. So here's your next step. If you've done or you haven't done, map your ICP using the listening framework. Schedule listening sessions with your top 5 prospect or customer now. Ask the questions and implement one relationship deepening trick this month. Ini ya, yang tadi relationship deepening tricksnya. Yang mana pilih aja satu. All right, Jethro, I was using mixed languages, so let's go into Q&A.
Yes, it doesn't matter. I mean, well, you didn't really have to, because last time, everything was in Bahasa and I couldn't understand the thing, but it was the participation points were participants were more active, so you can always answer the questions, the Q&A questions in Bahasa if you would like to. So
Let's use Bahasa.
yeah.
Okay, also ask.
All right. I'll be sharing the screen. You already have the link to see the Q&As. You can just go ahead and pick one, or we can go through one by one. People will be sharing their questions through this Q&A. So which one would you like to start with? The link has been shared to our link, the chat. So you can go ahead and just click the link or read it from my screen. Is this too small? I can enlarge it.
Oh, it's fine. It's my eyes.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Let's start with just raise your hand if any, and then as I go through. So
Oh yeah.
first who just ask their questions.
Mhm.
Okay, ya silakan Ashar.
Yes, I see. Yeah, Azara Khan's. You can unmute yourself and ask.
Halo, Dek. Rasa, halo.
Ya, silakan.
Yes.
Ya. Ini Habib Talk di bahasa. Selamat malam, Kak Samara. Menarik ya, tadi untuk materinya. Mungkin aku lebih tanya terkait strategi pricing ya, karena mungkin hampir problem semua produk sustainability itu pasti harga produksinya lebih mahal. Satu itu. Nggak pasti sih, dominan. Contoh ketika tadi teman-teman dari UGM yang tanya tadi ya, styrofoam dari jamur atau mungkin produk-produk yang lainnya gitu. Itu kan pasti nggak pasti dominan, harga produksinya lebih mahal. Padahal kalau kita mau masuk ke pasar market yang fokus di environmentally, itu biasanya akan lebih sulit bertarung karena musuhnya itu pakai material yang mungkin harga produksinya murah, sorry. Contoh.
Ngerti.
Kebetulan, nah itu untuk masuknya itu gimana gitu? Karena kadang kita bisa dapat customernya, namun nggak sustain. Contoh pembelian 1 sampai 2 kali, tapi nggak sustain karena mereka merasa signifikansi perbedaan produk yang berasal dari bahan material sustain dan produk material yang biasa dipakai dengan harga lebih murah, mereka akan beralih ke produk yang lebih murah. Gitu. Ya walaupun
Oke,
nggak semua, namun dominan seperti itu. Ya mungkin itu sih pertanyaan dari saya. Terima kasih Kak.
Mas, apa? Jualan sustainability product juga?
Ya, kebetulan kita produksi beras low carbon. Sebenarnya beras organik
Cool.
dengan beberapa varietas juga, beras merah, beras hitam, beras putih, beras coklat, mix agro rice, dan beberapa lain sebagainya. Jadi, karena kita kalau beras pertanian organik itu kan secara harga produksinya agak lebih mahal. Namun
Ngerti.
bertarungnya di lapangan itu lawannya dengan petani-petani beras yang mungkin produksinya bisa lebih murah, apalagi mereka berani selisih cuma 100-200 rupiah gitu per kilonya.
Jawab. Oke, Mas. Thank you so much.
Iya, makasih Kak Tamara.
Mas. Banget, Mas. Menurut aku mungkin eh, ideal customer profile-nya salah atau kurang tepat atau belum tepat. Tentu nggak apa-apa dibagi aja secondary dan tertiary customer. Itu memang mereka yang order cuma sekali 2 kali. Tapi yang memang top number one primary customer-nya dan kemungkinan ya Mas, bukan di Indonesia. Karena aku tahu di Singapura banyak sekali yang investasi buat less carbon rice production ya. So much. Maybe your market is Middle East, maybe your market is Dubai, maybe your market is Australia. Di situ sih Mas. Jadi walaupun ada tadi itu, kalau aku kan ngelihatnya di Indonesia, main di pasar Indonesia dulu, tapi 30%, 50% yang lebih mahal ini, aku trade off-nya ke mereka itu aku kasih mereka branding value. Jadi masih bisa main kalau aku, karena mainnya di sisi marketing. Kan aku work with marketing offices ya. For you, kalau memang sangat cost conscious terutama ya, rice sangat-sangat primer gitu, komoditas kan. eh Harus cek market yang lebih cocok sih. Mungkin di situ yang aku bisa bilang, kalau enggak ya you find grant funding buat you bisa reduce your cost. That's just either or. You work both ways. You have both ways you have to do. Karena sama aja bohong dong kalau aku juga sama. Kalau harganya tetap lebih mahal. Walaupun kan solusi sustainability mestinya lebih satu iya it uses less carbon than it replaces. Tapi kedua harus cost-nya masuk biar bisa scalable. Scalability memang nggak gampang, tapi itu yang kita semua sedang lakukan. Thank you.
Makasih Kak Isaknya. Berarti juga menarik, kayak ternyata bisa loh LinkedIn itu sebagai mahasiswa ya Kak. LinkedIn itu bisa buat channeling marketing, conference, dan sebagainya itu. Ini bakal jadi banyak insight baru sih buat mahasiswa yang mungkin mau mulai bisnisnya. Thank you Kak Tamara.
Oke, aku jawab dulu Gotani sebelum aku ke ini ada Owen Wijaya ya. Kalau tadi mau nanya. Oke, Gotani here ask, our business model is partnering farmer with distributors. The thing is, farmer are very much untrustworthy. We're kind of young. Do you have any pointers if the potential partners already look down on us? Yeah, then they're not the right partners. You just have to make the cut. You have to make a decision. Dan kadang kan kayak kita ngerasa, oh ini bisnis impactful. At the end of the day, business is business. Kalau kalian mau charity, ya charity gitu. Tapi for the business to work, kan berarti kan bisnis social enterprise terutama ya. For you to die is a lot higher. The potential for you to die is a lot higher. That means you need to be very optimized in all levels, more so than a normal business. Kalau memang mau kalian punya bayar lebih gitu ya, tapi merekanya look down on you. Ya mendingan bayar sama aja gitu, lebih kompetitif di market. They also doesn't look down on you, tapi juga you're able to scale the business. Jadi impact looks very different. Tapi kalau memang sudah dari supply chain aja udah susah diurus, ya, I think what type of business do you have? You don't have a business basically. Sorry, I'm very straightforward. Okay, I hope that answers. Anyone else who wants to do di Zoom aja, kita ngobrol aja yuk.
If anyone have any questions, you can raise your hand, or you can go ahead and read the next question.
Now here, Owen wants
Indonesia's
to
text. Sorry, what was that?
go ahead. Owen, here.
Oh yeah, sorry. So regarding about the question from the presenter before about the low carbon rice, you said to market it towards Singapore and other, let's say, with more higher bracket of money in other nation. Now, how do you meet those kind of people? Like, if you want to market in Singapore, let's say, or Malaysia, for example, you need to meet the retailer from those nations. And how do you meet, especially for us, considering some of us, like myself, is a university student, and we don't really have that many, what do you call it, that many places in which we could connect to other people, especially in the business side of things, you could say.
Okay, thank you. Look, I tell you, one of my goal back then when I started the business when I was your age, right? 21. I wanted to be a Forbes 30 under 30. I reached out on LinkedIn. I said, hey, similar background here, Miss Indonesia, blah, blah. Can I connect with you? Perfect. Tomorrow I'm in town tomorrow. Can we meet up next week? She ended up becoming my biggest supporter. When she gets to know me, she helps me build a business plan. I didn't even know what a business plan was. And then over the 6 years that we've been in mentorship friendship, she opened a lot of doors. So number one, again, I think you haven't really figured out then your customer profile and where you can find them. Yeah, for university students, maybe here's a cheat code, right? You see them speaking at a conference. Ada loh, ada Agritech conference by the way. Ada Agri Giant Foods, all of the Agri lah, and all of the brands like Jaffa and all that lah. Then you go to those conferences, like even if you haven't gone, maksudnya gini, sebelum bahkan kalian coba keluar market luar, coba dulu dong di lokal gitu. Kalau market lokal aja nggak menyerap, misalnya kayak, atau nggak mau pilot, nggak ada give feedback dulu, ke luar negeri mungkin agak susah ya. Atau unless you do have a lot of money to go to do that. For me, LinkedIn is definitely that storytelling where you can do that very easily. But for you to build credibility in LinkedIn that people want to respond to you have to consistently post on LinkedIn. So your professional branding is also very important. I tell you another example, like you can also cheat code it aside from conferences, you meet these people. Second is, and sometimes when you go to these conferences, even if you can't talk to them, you're just like sending a connection to them. Hey, saw you speak here, couldn't talk to you, let's connect. Second cheat code is, for example, there's a company that are in Malaysia, one of our client, Malaysian hotel, punya Indonesian partner, we presented to the Indonesian partner, dan aku outreach ke dia lewat LinkedIn by the way ya. Hey Pak, this is what we do. Do you want to have coffee? He came to our office, and then we became the main supplier for the hotel rooms in Malaysia. Again, our products are great, right? We're trustworthy enough with some of our early case studies. Like we work with Uniqlo, and then we can work with other companies. Our first few clients are actually Uniqlo. But yeah, I think that speaks to there's really no limitation. It's an age of AI. What can you guys not do these days with connections? I hope that answers.
should we go to the next one?
Yeah.
Or does anyone have any questions? You can raise your hand. I can wait just a bit more.
Okay, I will do the questions here.
Okay. Should we go up, down? Yes.
Textile. Jetro, do you mind helping me read the fourth one? The textile industry.
Yeah. Indonesia's textile industry still recycles a small portion of its waste, and most circular efforts focus on post-industrial materials. From your perspective, what practical things can startups do to make textile to fashion project work, especially when dealing with inconsistent materials, limited resources, and community involvement? And when we start working with bigger brands, how can they keep their own values and identity while still growing through those collaborations?
Thank you. Yeah. Here's also goes back to pivot, right? Very transparent with you. Maybe like when we first work with a larger scale company, like what I mentioned, like Uniqlo and whatnot, like, and then they're looking into ada trade-off kan, mungkin compromise gitu kan, kayak, oh harus mass production nih, we cannot use artisans anymore when creating our products. That's a compromise, right? Because they need scale. It's global, right? Then we went back and our board members say, tomorrow they might not be your customers. And that's true. For a social enterprise like us, if we try to really be keeping our identity, artisanal brands, we have to work with medium size who have a lot more leniency and flexibility to say, nggak apa-apa, 10.000 barang, 6 bulan ya, oke lah gitu. Mungkin kalau brand yang besar udah nggak bisa gitu. Tapi brand yang medium scale, nggak harus level yang tadi lah. Mungkin levelnya kalau mid market tuh kayak equivalentnya bukan Iger, stupid, Nudie Jeans gitu. Nudie Jeans juga nggak it's like mid size kan. It's still a $1 million company, but they're not $100 million company gitu. So that's where you can learn again what type of values that you don't want to compromise. And if you don't want to compromise that, then you have to be okay with making certain type of revenue. If you're okay with making a certain type of revenue, then you have to be okay with making certain type of partnership from certain type of brands only. I hope that's clear. All right. Thank you for the fantastic questions.
Right. So, can we get one or two more questions? And I think we can get two more questions and wrap up the day. Is that okay with everyone? So I'm actually curious about this. The elevator pitch. What kind of elevator pitch did you give that made you stand out?
Yeah, I'll tell you how to do an elevator pitch and you can take note. Elevator pitch starts with 30 seconds, right? 10 seconds, you introduce yourself and what you want to be known for. For example, hi, my name is Tamara Gondo. I was a Miss Indonesia, passionate about women empowerment, and now I'm a social entrepreneur that is Forbes 30 under 30 social impact. And then you tell them the next 10 seconds is what you want to do and what you're doing. For example, I've worked with 250 brands, including Uniqlo and Nudie Jeans. What I do is I help them, right? Help them upcycle their waste into meaningful merchandises that empower women to communicate to their customers. Very quick, simple. Another 10 seconds, you just say your ask. Perlu apa gitu. Contohnya perlu prototype ya. Saya ngobrol sama potential prospect gitu. I would really love to get to know you and understand more about your business. If you can meet me next week, just for me to ask you whether what I'm building now will be relevant to your business. Done. Simple. I think a lot of people make the mistake they never really make the ask. Tapi mereka mulainya dengan jualan gitu kayak bedain ya sama misalnya, hai aku dari startup Kulaku gitu atau startup apalah gitulah GoFundMe gitu. Aku lagi ngejual ini, mau nggak kamu jadi salah satu vendor aku gitu. It's really not interesting karena nggak ada credibility-nya langsung jualan. Nobody likes a hard sell, but everybody likes to be friends with you. That's it, Jethro.
I really like that point where there's actually a framework for elevator pitch. Like I I don't really remember clearly on it, but it's fame, aim, game, tame, same. It's well, you guys can just go ahead and search that part, but she just went over the whole entire thing, and so you gotta grab attention and tell them what you need, what they want to hear also. So anyways, I think we don't have any other questions. I think we can wrap it up for today. If no one has any questions, we can call it a day. But if we do, we can stay for just one more questions. Anyone with one additional question? Do I see any hands up?
Going once, going twice. Really, guys? You guys will miss out if you don't ask me now. If it's not you give me feedback, I wouldn't do it. Okay, itu.
Oh, I think we have hand from Annie.
All right. Hello, Ms. Tamara. Thank you for your presentation. So, I was wondering about your journey. Did you really started from getting revenue from the first time that you started your business, or you might have an experience where you also, uh, start from not that kind of revenue, but partnership, for example. So maybe you have that kind of story to share here with all the students, since you start with privilege, I think, since you are Miss Indonesia, right? So it might be different from most of the students here, where might start from zero. So do you have any tips, or yeah, kind of? Thank you.
Yeah, but that privilege, thank you for the question. But that privilege I built. I built that privilege. I started working when I was 12 years old and 30 years old, and I know I wanted to be Miss Indonesia.
Exactly. Great.
So, yeah, it's like joining abis ikutan Maju on, post it on your LinkedIn, utilize it and share it to people. Aku alumni Maju on Indonesia, kemarin kerjasama sama Jetro dan bla 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 bla. Pakai aja namanya, nama besarnya gitu. Mereka adalah partner dari misalnya siapa di Korea gitu. Terus that opens doors. But I started with 30 juta ya, by the way, buat building business ini gitu. I think if you talk about partnership, there's quite plenty, and the partnership doesn't have to be win-win in terms of bukan harus yang make you money. Waktu itu kita kerjasama sama brand makeup Aries. Terus kita bikin produk bundling lah, dijual di Shopee. Kita cuman perlu namanya gitu. Nama dari mereka yang jualin karena kita nggak punya nama. Jadi your steps now itu cari gitu, mau partner sama siapa. Mungkin Erigo level 3 deh contoh. And then you really build dari satu case tadi, jadiin itu 10. Itu cara ngebangun leverage dan momentum dan privilege. My privilege is not here, by the way. My privilege is not in sustainability. Tapi I choose to do this for 7 years. That's why I'm able to build. Kalian kan baru mulai kan? It's okay. I also started at 0.
Our manager Eunjin actually has a question that she wants to ask. I can read it for her, or she can just turn on the mic to just very one more question. Uh, I think it was Eunjin. You can go ahead and take it or ask her.
Well, thank you for giving me a chance. Well, on the table about the tips, that's my question, and I really want to know your feedback or know-how about, especially question two, that what should we do if trust has been damaged, and how do we rebuild it?
Sorry, I'm not really understanding. What was
Oh
it?
yeah, I can read it back. It's actually this second question. What should we do if trust has been damaged? How do we rebuild it? Yes.
All right, I guess this is the last question of the day. Great questions, by the way, everyone. Very proud of you Indonesians, students, yeah, yang memang thinking outside of the box. It's not an easy journey, but perseverance sets you apart. Before I answer that, right, just closing thought also. By the time you are 7 years, and for me it's 12 years in the industry, a lot of your competitor would drop down gitu. So it's very important whether what you are setting up to do and to build is something you're very passionate about. And how long will you do it? I'm set doing this for the next 20, 30 years of my life because I want to build a legacy. So for you, for example, udah mencoba nih ya 1 tahun gitu setelah ini. Tapi it's not working gitu. Then you ask yourself again, have you tried A to Z? Apa you tried A to D and you're enough? Apa you want to try to S gitu misalnya. Your bandwidth tuh sampai mana? That's very important for you to know first as a founder. Mungkin privilege-nya di situ gitu, kayak ngomongin what is your safety net if things doesn't work out. Now that goes into answering your questions here. What should we do if trust has been damaged? How do we rebuild it? You say sorry and you do your part in saying I will revert that. And then it's up to them whether they want to accept you back or not. But you choose to be credible, regardless whether they accept your apology or not, by showcasing that here's the impact report, here's the progress so far. You keep the cadence of like where you are, so then they know that you're actually trying to do right by. Reputation goes a long way, credibility goes a long way. I think that's really my closing thought, Jetro. The fact that I want the 68 people who are here today for them to consider making an impact. I'll leave it with this. A lot of people have idea, but not a lot of people have the right execution, the right people alongside them, and maybe the motivations to go the long way. But if you really want to change an industry and make an impact for society, and I really hope that you do for our country, you have to build everything in a 5 years and 10 years time.
So it's not something that can be achieved in a short term. It's a long run, and you're in it for your life, right? Yep, I agree. All right. Thank you very much, Tamara. Let's give her a hand. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Thank you for your time. We loved having you here today. Uh, if uh if we have any other questions, we will like maybe email you. But besides that, thank you for your time, and this actually wraps everything up. Thank